29,000 miles of highway. So when the billboard says you can hold it, people really do.
I started my morning from Houston with a thermos of coffee. Wait and hold it until I got to Buc-ee's.
We saw the sign here for 44 miles.
All right, so most of us are enjoying the end of the last long weekend of summer. You're probably stretching out or sleeping in today, but it's going to be one of the busiest days of the year at this place, Buc-ee's. That gas station convenience store chain, found mostly in Texas and the Southeast, is truly a must-see for millions of road trippers. Our senior road tripper, Chris Van Cleve, looks at how Buc-ee's gets ready for the rush.
Everything's bigger in Texas, and that includes gas stations. Meet Buc-ee's, the gas station that's more of a megastore, a roadside behemoth boasting up to 120 fuel pumps, aisles of home decor and snacks, and bathrooms so spotless they've won national awards. In an era when most see pit stops as a necessary inconvenience, Buc-ee's has transformed them into a must-see destination. With its grinning Beaver mascot beckoning travelers from billboards hundreds of miles away, Buc-ee's has built a cult following and an empire of travel centers. This is the story of Buc-ee's, its humble origins, explosive growth, Texas-sized culture, and the retail innovations that made it legendary. The story of Buc-ee's begins with Texas native Ark Beaver Aplin III, and a little bit of Louisiana small-town charm. Aplin's grandparents, Arch and May Aplin, ran a tiny general store and gas station in rural Louisiana, proudly nicknamed the biggest little store. Young Arch III spent summers there, pumping gas and soaking up the family business, catching the entrepreneurial bug early after graduating from Texas A&M. In 1980, with a construction science degree, Aplin returned to his home state with big ideas. In 1982, at age 24, Arch Beaver Aplin found an empty lot on the border of Lake Jackson and Clute, Texas, about an hour south of Houston. He opened a modest 3,000 square foot gas station and convenience store at 899 Oyster Creek Drive, stocking it with the essentials for road travelers. For the store's name and mascot, Aplin looked to his own life for inspiration. His child nickname was Beaver, earned from a 1950s toothpaste cartoon character named Bucky Beaver that had charmed his family. He also loved a Labrador retriever named Buck. Combining Buck and Beaver, he coined Buc-ee's and sketched a smiling cartoon beaver wearing a baseball cap to be the company logo. A Texas gas station with a friendly beaver mascot was born. Quirky, memorable, and utterly Texan. That first Buc-ee's was humble by today's standards, essentially a large convenience store. But Aplin already dreamed big. As he greeted customers in those early days, he hinted to local newspapers that one store was just the start. He envisioned building a chain at Buc-ee's someday. Crucially, Aplin knew from the beginning what would set his gas station apart: an obsession with customer experience. Drawing on lessons from his grandparents' tiny store, he focused on friendly service, fair prices, and cleanliness. In fact, cleanliness, especially in the restrooms, would soon become Buc-ee's holy grail. Through all this growth, Buc-ee's never tried to be a truck stop. In fact, it deliberately turned away 18-wheelers. From early on, Aplin made a somewhat controversial decision: no big rigs allowed. The store posted "No 18-wheelers" signs at every entrance, signaling that semi-trucks and their trailers weren't welcome. This was a bold break from the typical interstate travel center model, but Aplin's reasoning was strategic. He wanted Buc-ee's parking lots open for families, road trippers, and commuters, not congested with hulking trucks. The message was clear: Buc-ee's is for vacationers, families, and explorers, not an industrial truck stop. Some truckers grumbled, but the strategy paid off as loyal customers appreciated the easy parking and family-friendly environment. By 2012, Buc-ee's had around 26 locations in Texas. Buc-ee's continued to push the envelope, each new store seemingly larger than the last. Buc-ee's opened a record-breaking outpost in New Braunfels, Texas, along the busy I-35 corridor. Sprawling over 68,000 square feet, bigger than a typical supermarket, with 60 fuel pumps and a parking for 1,000 cars, the New Braunfels Buc-ee's became the largest convenience store in the world at the time. On its grand opening day, 10,000 people streamed through the doors to gawk and shop. They found 83 gleaming toilet stalls, a jerky bar with 24 varieties of beef jerky, a kolache pastry counter, and Buc-ee's tchotchkes, as far as the eye could see. It was Texas-sized extravaganza. The new Braunfels store solidified Buc-ee's as more than a gas station. It was now a bona fide roadside attraction. Importantly, Buc-ee's new Braunfels also earned the chain national acclaim for its customer obsession. That year, Buc-ee's beat out fancy restaurants and luxury hotels to win the 2012 Cinta's America's Best Restroom Award for its impeccably clean bathrooms. Founder Beaver Aplin attended the award ceremony and summed up Buc-ee's philosophy with a memorable quip. "You can build it out of gold, but if you don't clean it, at the end of the day, you end up with dirty gold." In other words, no amount of flash matters if you don't deliver quality. Buc-ee's had spent lavishly to make its restrooms spacious and spotless, but they also maintained them hour by hour. "There's always someone seemingly right behind me cleaning up," one amazed visitor remarked at the reward presentation. The message wasn't lost on Buc-ee's leadership. Their relentless focus on the customer experience, from cleanliness to convenience, was the real key to their success. By the mid-2010s, Buc-ee's was a Texas legend. The privately owned company rarely disclosed financials, but available estimates were eye-popping. Between 2006 and 2015, Buc-ee's annual revenue rocketed from about $202 million to $959 million. And this was before any expansion outside Texas. With around 35 Texas locations and counting, Buc-ee's dominance in its home state was unquestioned. It had even earned a nickname. Some called it the Disneyland of convenience stores, a fantasy land for road travelers. Where else could you fill your tank, use a sparkling clean restroom, buy a brisket sandwich, a bag of caramel Beaver nuggets, a Buc-ee's t-shirt, and even a fire pit shaped like Texas, all in one stop? For decades, Buc-ee's was a strictly Texas affair, a quirky Lone Star legend that changed in 2019. When the Beaver hit the road and started popping up in other states, the first Buc-ee's outside Texas opened in Loxley, Alabama, in January 2019. It was a strategic choice. Alabama shares I-10 with Texas, so plenty of Texans already fans would travel that way to Gulf Coast vacations. And curious locals had heard the buzz. The Alabama Buc-ee's, a 53,000 square foot giant near the Gulf Shore's beaches, drew enormous crowds on opening day. Folks were eager to see what this Texas phenomenon was all about, and Buc-ee's didn't disappoint. It even brought Texas-style brisket to Alabama. After Alabama, Buc-ee's embarked on an ambitious expansion spree across the Southeast. Soon, Buc-ee's billboards and stores began appearing in states like Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee. By 2023, Buc-ee's had established about 15 locations outside of Texas, reaching as far as South Carolina, Kentucky, and even Colorado. The expansion has proven that Buc-ee's cult-like appeal travels well. In state after state, newcomers become die-hard Buc-ee's fans after their first visit. A family from Alabama recently drove all the way to Virginia just to attend a Buc-ee's grand opening, then immediately hit the road to catch another Buc-ee's opening in Georgia the next day. Of course, with rapid expansion comes the challenge of maintaining the legendary Buc-ee's experience. New regions mean new customers who may be unfamiliar with the concept, but they arrive with sky-high expectations thanks to the buzz. The expansion will involve them having to continue to tell the story, and they have to get it right every time, emphasizing that consistency is key as Buc-ee's grows. So far, Buc-ee's seems mindful of this. They carefully choose locations with high traffic, often near tourist destinations or major junctions, and ensure each new store is staffed and stocked to Buc-ee's standards from day one. The formula remains intact: abundant pumps, sparkling restrooms, endless briskets and snacks, and Beaver-adorned everything. If Buc-ee's can keep delivering wow moments in every state, its empire of enthusiastic customers will only continue to grow. In a few short decades, Buc-ee has gone from a single small-town gas station to a roadside juggernaut, all by defying expectations of what a gas station can be. Its rise is a testament to Texas-sized vision and an unyielding customer-first philosophy. So the next time you're cruising the interstate and spot a cheerful Beaver billboard announcing a Buc-ee's ahead, consider pulling in. You might just find the best pit stop in America, born and raised in Texas. Fill up your tank, grab some barbecue, snap a selfie with the Beaver statue, and enjoy a genuinely pleasant break on the road. Buc-ee's has proven that even a gas station can become a beloved destination. All it takes is vision, a lot of dedication, and maybe a cute beaver in a baseball cap.